Welcome to Gluten-Free Apple Muffins for Atrium. My name's Caili. I'm in level 2 and this is Aunt Dee Dee.
This is Aunt Dee Dee. So I am one of Caili's aunts, and we like to get together and do something that we call Cooking with Caili. So we do a lot of these. And so we decided that we were going to do one special for Atrium, right? But the request came for not just something that was fall, and I think of apples for fall, right? But we wanted gluten-free options because, and who in your family is gluten-free?
My mom.
And why does your mom prefer to limit her gluten? You know why? We just talked about it, remember? We just talked about how for some people, gluten, which can be found in different kinds of flour and certain other items.
It can upset your stomach.
It can upset your stomach and your system. And so some people have what's called a gluten intolerance. So it just doesn't make them feel right and doesn't make them feel good. And so other people have a gluten allergy that can make them very, very, very sick. So when we look at things that have gluten, there are a lot of things out there that have gluten. But one of the most common things are different kinds of flour. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use a gluten-free flour to make muffins so that mom and others don't have to go without some really great fall-inspired flavors in their muffins, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing these gluten-free apple muffins, and we're going to do a variation on this because Caili and I don't really follow the rules very well. If you know Caili, you know that that might be the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's in the kitchen.
we make things up as we go sometimes. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, excuse me, we're going to use egg, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, coconut oil. We're going to talk about that when we get down to it. Applesauce is unsweetened applesauce, so not too much extra sugar. And then this is the flour. This is a white rice flour, so instead of regular flour. Then we have apple pie spices. I mean, you can't have apple flavored things without apple pie spices. And of course, apples. And we're going to talk about those in a minute too, as to where those particular apples come from. But the big surprise about these apples is how we are going to bake them. How are we going to bake them? We're going to bake them in
a silicone mold. In the microwave.
In the microwave. We're going to make muffins in 5 minutes in the microwave. No waiting around. You're going to be able to eat them even faster.
Well, it might take us a little longer to make them, as in like
yeah, it'll probably take a little longer to get the ingredients together than we'll get them in the oven or into the microwave oven. So, okay, are we ready? So the first thing is you are going to crack that egg into the big mixing bowl. And we're gonna make a mess. We've decided that if we had our own cooking show, it would be called Mess in the Kitchen. And she's getting stuff all over. And give me that. We can't take her anywhere, this girl.
I'm gonna go wash my hands.
You're gonna go wash your hands because she just got egg all over the place. So we've got 1 egg in there. And then the next thing we have on here is 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So I cheated and I already measured that out. So this is 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So go ahead and mix that in there.
I'll try not to make a big mess.
Okay, there we go.
Although I don't think that's possible.
And then we're gonna do the oil. So we're using, this is melted coconut oil. Now coconut oil is from coconuts. And some coconut oils taste a lot like coconut. Others don't have a lot of coconut flavor, which for those of us who don't love coconut, is a really good option. But this is a healthy alternative to certain types of other vegetable oils or canola oils. So we're gonna use, I already melted it, and that is 1/3 of a cup, and that's gonna go right in like that. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna put in there is the sugar, the oil, and the applesauce. So this is just a little applesauce cup. You can buy these in the store. Happens to be exactly 1/2 cup, which is exactly what we need. And again, we're doing unsweetened because we don't need lots of extra sugar. So I'm gonna have Caili put all that in there. Do you like applesauce?
I used to. I've totally ditched it now.
You've ditched it. Why did you ditch it?
Well, I used to go to aftercare and we ate it like every day. So.
Oh, so you got kind of over it.
I just threw it around like it was going out of style.
That's fair. So then we're gonna, if you want to mix that up.
Okay.
Okay.
It's gooey.
It is gooey.
Very gooey.
So keep whipping that. I'm gonna grab something.
Sand.
It looks like sand. Yep. And I actually did something wrong where I forgot to get one of my tools out because it happens. But I had it handy. So because we're going to grate our apples here in a minute.
I never heard of people grating apples.
Well, there's the first time for everything. So that's today. Okay, so that's all incorporated. So everything's all mixed together. And now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. So that's all the wet ingredients. And generally when you're baking, you wanna combine everything that's wet separately from everything that's dry, and then you wanna mix the dry into the wet, generally speaking. Now there are sometimes that rule doesn't apply, but today that's important. So this is that almond flour, or the white rice flour. So we are going to, how much does it say for the flour?
It says 1 cup.
1 cup of gluten-free flour blend. So that's what this is. So I'm gonna have you hold this while I pour it in there, okay? So that's a cup measure. We're gonna just pour it in there. And there's flour made out of just about everything these days. You can get flour.
Out of chocolate?
No, I said just about everything. So there's that.
And apparently chocolate is not one of them.
I know. So then we're gonna do baking soda. Okay. Oh, baking soda. This is baking soda, and we're gonna use this special spoon that goes into everything really easily. So we need a half a teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder. I'm gonna open that up a little bit more. Let me go like that. I'm gonna let you go in and get it. Okay. So that's gonna be
the whole thing.
No, it's gonna be
wrong side.
We're doing a half a teaspoon. Yeah. Yep, you know exactly how to do that. Because with baking, you have to be really precise. Okay, so it's going in.
Not everything has to be very precise.
Because you want to make sure that everything works properly. So we have baking powder and baking soda.
That doesn't come when you're making up your own recipe.
So same thing. So we're going to use that same amount of baking soda. So baking soda and baking powder have different roles. And basically the role of them is to help whatever you're baking to rise properly. You don't want it to be super flat.
Yeah, one time we added too little of it, and my cupcakes didn't rise.
See, and that's why you missed it. So now we're going to use just an apple pie spice blend that has cinnamon, has nutmeg, has cloves. And that way you don't have to measure out a whole bunch of different things, but we're going to do a whole tablespoon of that.
Why a whole tablespoon?
Because it's good and we like it. Can you get it?
Get out.
Here, do it over the bowl. So if it spills, then it's, get it over the bowl. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. And now I'm going to mix all that together.
Just blend it.
Just blend it together. So while Caili is doing that, I am going to get out 1 medium-sized apple. And we've kind of already got these wiped off. And Caili picked these, didn't you? You picked these.
Yes, and we will talk about where I got them when they're in the microwave.
Exactly. So I have to get out. I'm going to peel the apple. Okay, don't get all the stuff off the sides there. And make sure it's all incorporated so you don't just end up with like a clump of flour in a bite. You don't want that. So we're going to peel these. Oh, see, you got it all mixed together. It's good. Mm-hmm. So, yep, I'm going to peel this and I'm going to have you grate it, okay? We're going to trade off who does what. So I used to have an apple corer. It was actually a tool, but I realized I lent it to somebody and I never got it back. So
I don't think that defies the definition of lend.
Well, I think that person just forgot, truly. I think that they probably don't use it very often. That's why they had it in the first place, because they didn't normally need one. So I happened to have it. I offered it, and then I forgot to ask for it back. And
Why not ask for it back now?
So, well, I could, but I'm good now. I figured out some other tricks. So what we're going to do is Caili is going to,
Which side should I do?
Let's do the big side. So, okay, hang on. How
Go big, go home.
Exactly. Lean in a little bit. There you go. And be careful to get your fingers in there. Okay, can you stop for 1 second? I want to show you a trick. So who has ever used a box grater and ended up grating their finger? That would be me. Oh, Dad's hitting stuff. So I'm going to have you, with your right hand that you're grating with, I'm going to have you put this little glove on. This glove actually will make sure that it protects you. It's actually a steel glove. It is like a knife. So that way, if you get your finger, you're not going to actually get your finger. So.
Wait, how does that work?
It's crazy, right? So people like me who are really klutzes have to make sure. It's just fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn it around. Let's turn it this way. Turn it that direction. We're going to get all sides. So in theory, you could just go ahead and cube this really, really tiny. You could just chop them up really, really tiny. Well, but this is just more fun.
More fun.
This is way more fun. So you just turn it over. Yep. We're gonna get it all in there. And what's great about this box grater is it has a little cup in the bottom that catches everything. So sometimes I'll use my box grater for zucchini, to go into zucchini bread. You can use it for cheese, for a big block of cheese. You can use it, I use it for cucumbers when I'm making like tzatziki, which is a Greek yogurt dip. So yeah, so there's lots of different things. Carrots, you can do lots of different vegetables. You do sweet potatoes, for yams in here. So you can use a box grater for lots of different things. I love that. Probably not quite done, so I'm going to trade with you. Give me that. Give me that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad that her don't. So one of the things people don't know. Oh, you still got it on the side. Is if you over mix certain things, you're activating all the different things that are going to make it rise. But you can also make it tough. Have you ever had a muffin that was just kind of chewy and tough and dry?
No, because I'm not a big fan of muffins.
Well, or a baked good, or you know something that's maybe a pie, not pie, a cake that kind of is dry and tough. That's because the batter was probably overworked,
Yes, but that was usually because I never used cake flour.
But there's lots of different reasons to have it, but this is one of the reasons. So see, we're making a mess. It's what we do.
Mess in the kitchen.
Mess in the kitchen. Told you, man. It's a thing. It's a thing. So 1 second. There we go. Get that off my hand. So I'd like to point out that my house got cleaned earlier today. Should have totally done that later. So we're going to go ahead and dump this right in there, and you're going to keep mixing it up. Okay? And that ended up being right about a cup. So one medium
How lucky are we?
was right at about a cup. So if you don't know how big, medium, small, you're looking for about a cup of shredded or really small cubes of apple. So that way you don't have to wonder small, medium, large. Okay, you got it? Okay, super. So here's what we're gonna do. We are, this out of the way. I'm gonna get, yep. Actually, I'm gonna get a different spoon because that's really more of a spatula for scraping. I'm gonna use this silicone one to kind of do that. Okay, so we're gonna put these into these silicone. I'm just gonna plop it in there. Oh, you're fun to watch. You know what? Let me just show you maybe how to do this. So we're gonna make a half a batch right now. So like this, so you can get it everywhere. You want to get it all over the place.
That's kind of my style.
So what's really great about something like this is you could easily put this into a baking, into a loaf, like bread. You could just make it into apple bread, into little loaves. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have zucchini bread or banana bread. You could do that with this.
I'm washing my hands.
Oh, you're gonna wash your hands? Okay, so she's gonna leave me to do this. That's fine. That's fine. That's right. She makes me do all the hard work. It's cool. I'm really just her sous chef. I mean, who are we kidding, right? Okay, so we have a little bit of that left. We'll get to that later, but we're gonna do just these 6 in the microwave. Yes, in the microwave. And we're gonna go for all of
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
We should only like cut it down because you said everybody's microwave.
Everyone is microwave, just like everyone's oven is different. So if you wanted to do this one, you could actually do this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. And then you kind of test it and see if it's done, if it's dry enough. So, so those are all ways that you can have fun with these different kinds of batters.
I told you we would tell you where I got my apples.
Yes, I was going to say that she got ahead of me.
I got them at an orchard. What was it called again?
What kind of orchard was it, Dad?
I didn't go.
Dad didn't get to go.
Oh, darn it, I forgot the name.
Oh my gosh, so it was an orchard. Was it here, though, in the Northern Virginia area?
It was in North Virginia. It was in the country.
Out in Loudoun County, okay. It's too bad we don't know the name because we would give them a shout out. But that's okay.
If you would like, when I remember it, I can post it on the website.
Yeah, she can tell you. She'll be able to tell you where to get these really great apples. What I love is you got apples of all these tiny little, all different sizes. They're so cute. Aren't they cute? Yeah. Oh, where are we going with it? Oh, she's gonna wash it off. There we go. So, one of the other things that you can do with apples, also in the microwave, weirdly enough, is you can actually slice them really thin. And in just a couple minutes, you can have nice softened apples with the apple pie spice. And you could make it at the beginning of the week and put it on oatmeal. You could put it on waffles or pancakes. So there's lots of different things that you can do with the apples this time of year. How else do you like to have apples in the fall? Oh, do you like apples in other things?
I sometimes I do like the apples at Streetling's Orchard. I like the apple pies there.
What do you like about the apple pie? What makes it so special?
It's so warm and tasty, and it has so much cinnamon. I also like the apple donuts.
Ooh, apple cider donuts. And speaking of apple cider, someone's drinking a little bit of apple cider that I had.
That's also a very good orchard. Maybe next fall, if you watch this and you want to go see it, you can go to Streetlings.
Yeah, there's lots of options. That's what's really great. So what else? What are other ways or other places, other meals or recipes that you see apples in this time of year?
Apple crisp donut.
Apple crisp in general. Apple crisp is one of my favorites. Or an apple strudel.
Or apple cinnamon donuts.
Apple cinnamon donuts. I mean, you really can't go wrong there. You can't really go wrong there. Maybe we'll do more episodes of this. We have lots of episodes. So what are some of the other kinds of fruits or vegetables that are really popular in the fall, other than apples? What kinds of things do you see in meals this time of year?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, or yams, because you get closer to the holidays. Maybe have that for holiday.
One big spice that is spotlighted in fall, which is cinnamon.
Cinnamon is a fan. I love cinnamon all year round. It's my absolute favorite.
I will eat cinnamon any day.
My grandmother used to put cinnamon in everything. She was a fantastic baker. And when she passed away and we cleaned out her kitchen, the family found almost 10 different containers of cinnamon, because she would go to the store and she would just pick up more because she was sure she would use it. She used cinnamon in everything. It smells so good. In fact, things that smell good. Can you smell that?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that smell good?
There's nothing better than the smell of nice cakes or whatever.
Anything sweet. Let's face it. If you know Caili, she's all about sweets. And if you don't know Caili, let me just tell you, she's all about sweets. We
would have named it Baking with Caili, but I don't think that would really make sense.
Cooking with Caili is more fun, because cooking is a little more of a larger umbrella. You can do lots of things under cooking. And it sounds cool, because of both two C's. Cooking Caili.
I watched a show where somebody actually did cooking and baking together. They made a taco cupcake.
A taco cupcake? What in the world would be in a taco cupcake?
Taco filling.
Oh, chocolate. I thought you said taco.
I said taco.
Oh, well, so the muffin was a chocolate muffin, but it was a taco?
No, it was basically, they got like all that, like they sauteed all the stuff you would put inside the taco and put that into a vanilla batter. They had beef and all that good stuff, and they had a Dorito on top.
Interesting. I don't really know if I would like. I'm looking at Caili's dad off of camera here, and we're both going, it doesn't sound intriguing to me. But you know what? There's something for everyone.
It's on Sugar Rush. I don't know.
Oh, I know. Okay, so I heard the beep. Let's see if this is done. We don't know for sure if it's going to be done yet. They puffed up. They smell awesome, don't they? Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you what, those are totally done. Those are totally done. So I'm going to use this because I'm sure that I don't want to hurt myself. So the one thing about gluten-free baking that I will say is that even though we put things like the baking powder and baking soda and stuff like that in it, gluten-free baking, generally speaking, doesn't rise in the same way as regular flour. So it's going to be sometimes it's going to be a little flatter.
So if it looks like this, do not worry.
It's still going to taste
It's still
delicious.
going to taste
It's going to be awesome. I'm going to just step aside here for a second and get this out of the way. Get that out of the way, and we have totally made that mess in the kitchen. We swore we were going to do it, and we did. Mess in the kitchen, man, it's a thing. So we're going to let those cool for a second.
No, we should turn that into a pop song.
What would it sound like?
Mess in the kitchen, eggshells, apple peels, and stuff more.
and stuff. So let me get a little plate. And so for some people, a perfect match for this, not all people, but for some people, not gonna name names, but for some people,
you said you
for some people, putting caramel on this, so like a caramel apple, caramel drizzled on top of one of these muffins would be delicious. But some people say they don't like caramel.
Which is true.
I don't really understand it.
I am apparently one of those people.
Super confused by it.
But
you know, everyone likes different things, and that is okay. But that just means more caramel for the rest of it.
My friend almost choked on chocolate. Now she refuses on chocolate.
Okay, well, okay, so that's still really hot. I probably should let these cool a little bit more, but I'm being very impatient. So there is our muffin.
The other good things about these silicone mugs, no liners.
No liners needed, and it goes in the microwave. Super easy, like we just showed. Can go into the oven, and it goes into the dishwasher.
Exactly.
So helpful. So we love these. We cook with these kinds of things all the time, and this is really safe silicone. This is what's called food grade silicone. So sometimes you have silicone out there that maybe when you cook with it, it leaches stuff into your food, like part of the chemicals. This is food grade silicone, which means it doesn't do that.
You don't want to take a big old bite out of your cake.
No.
And find a big hunk of plastic.
Nobody wins. And sometimes it kind of gets in there and you don't even know it's in there, but you don't want to do that. So this is still very hot. So I'm going to cheat, and we're going to actually just cut into this, almost like you would if it was in a bowl. So we can taste it. Since you're already eating it, you're eating an apple over there anyway. So, well, if you're already eating an apple, maybe I'm the only one that gets to taste this. Because that's a little bit warm, so you can take that little piece. It's gonna be warm.
It's not warm.
It's a little warm. Ooh.
Nothing like good hot pastries right out of the oven.
The microwave oven.
Microwave oven.
That is super good.
Whatever you guys are using, it's the best out of the heaters.
It is, and I do want to give a shout out. This recipe is actually from a food blog, and it is called the Gluten-Free Palette. So I want to give credit where credit is due. I changed a little bit because I changed what kind of spice blend I use, excuse me, and I changed the kind of oil, but it is this person's recipe, so I want to give them a shout out to the Gluten-Free Palette. So yeah, we're good. Okay?
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Happy fall, everybody. Go apple picking and have some muffins. Bye.
Muffins.